What's up, everybody? Welcome to A Kind of Funny Reacts. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the pure one, Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host.
Will you be pure after this? Now,
I don't
I'm sure you have a lot of questions, ladies and gentlemen, so let's start addressing them right off the bat. I think your first question would have probably been at the headline. Why is your Uncharted 4 Let's Play in the Kind of Funny Reacts playlist? Your second question, once you clicked on the video, why are you guys lying down like Draculas? Getting ready to talk about this before you go to the fucking ground.
Together.
Now, here's where it happens. So today, we went to LA, and we played Uncharted 4, Thief's End, and we were able to capture our footage. However, Sony would not allow us, or anyone for that matter, to do face cam footage. So we couldn't do a traditional Let's Play in terms of, we're going to play this game, you're going to see our reactions live as it happens. So what you're going to watch here is my playthrough of Uncharted 4, Thief's End, I think it's Chapter 10 demo or whatever. And it's after watching Tim's demo of it, because they wanted us to capture a second one, which we'll talk about a bit in this. So now, that's solved the fact of why it's a reacts, because we're not actually playing the game as we go.
Yeah. This is Greg's footage playing. We're just talking over it.
And you'll see that I'm not, at the end, I'll tell you I'm about to go in stealth, and then it all goes to hell immediately. But the why are we lying in a bed is because we're in LA, and so we need to do this. Now, there's days before the embargo lifts, but I go straight to Austin from here. I go to do some of that Rooster Teeth goodness, as they say. So with that happening, I won't get to go back to San Francisco. You're filming love and sex stuff down here. There's a whole bunch of moving parts and stuff. That
so what this means, Greg, is that I set up a camera, and now I want everyone out there to know I haven't set up a camera in a long time.
Yeah.
So this is what you get.
No,
I
it's
first
not even
had it in the bathroom.
Well, no, you first had it here, and you're like, it's too dark.
Yeah.
And then we're like, we'll do it in the bathroom and shoot through the shower glass, because this is one of them sex hotels where you'd lay here right here, and you'd be in bed, and you'd be like, as your partner showers, you're like, yeah, spread them. Yeah. But now we shot, and then there's a line here, and you saw the reflections.
Life's hard is really what it comes down to.
This is the best we could do to do
I have
this
no idea how
Uncharted.
lit I am. I know he's not well lit.
Well, yeah, but you're not here for us, even though you've been listening to us for like 5 minutes.
Sounds.
You're here for the game. We're gonna see the game. All right. So now Kevin back at home. We're gonna start it. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, go, and that's when I hit the video, and that's when you hit the video, Kevin at home. Hopefully you've been holding on this beautiful vista over there, around there. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. We've begun.
There we go.
So there we go. Troy Baker, Sam Drake, tossing this thing around. Victor Sullivan. Trying to get some
selfies in the background.
Now we're in Madagascar, of course. We've known for a long time, a Pirates game. You're out there trying to find all this Pirates gold, it turns out. Based on reality, Neil Druckmann ran you all through it. What I love about this demo is that, for me, it is a very understated Uncharted demo. You know it, I know it, Tim knows it. Uncharted is going to be awesome. Period. You know what I mean? So I don't need to play a lot of it. I don't want to know any more of the story. I've already seen too many cutscenes, as Colin would say. I was right, Chapter 10, nailed it. The 12 towers, right? The 2 towers. They'll have
because in addition to us doing this
you
like
just saw
idiots, the laptop is also...
Yeah, I'm going to do it just a little bit
I'm not blaming
just a
you.
little
I'm
bit
saying because
no,
we
I
want to
know.
see your beautiful face.
No, I don't think anybody really does, and I'm too dark anyway. We're in Madagascar, we're flying around, doing all this stuff. Not much story revealed here, which is great. I don't want to play stuff over and over again. Although I will say, 10 chapters in, Sam's still here. It looks like my original theory from way back in the day of him being a bad guy isn't going to happen, because I would have thought that happened then. But here we jump out, run around. Beautiful game, Tim.
Yes. So beautiful. I mean, even in the very first shot, we saw that vista.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of Jack and Daxter. Back in the day, Naughty Dog, their whole look out there, everything you see you can touch.
Right.
Type stuff. And it's like, in this game, it's like, man, like that is
great
so
lighting,
true.
Great shadows, great draw distance.
But everything's realistic. And like, man, I remember the first time I played Uncharted 1 at a GameStop.
Yeah.
Back in 2007. And being blown away by Nathan Drake walking in the water.
Oh, yeah, and seeing his pants get wet.
And it's like, you play this.
Like, there's so many animations right there climbing into the car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just like something I feel like Uncharted 4 has got this big problem with it, or big problem going in the fact that it's more Uncharted. I know what I'm going to get. This game's going to look great. It's going to do this, But
I think that this demo is a perfect way to kind of quell all of that.
Exactly.
Like, to finish the point about the looks of this game, like, it takes 3 seconds of looking at this car driving to see that antenna just kind of waving back and forth and see the
gas tank in the back,
gas tank just sliding.
And
but the thing that blew me away was if you look at the mirrors on the sides of the car, I mean, it's realistic.
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah,
it's actually reflecting
what
stuff,
you
and it's
see.
like that sounds so simple, and I don't know if other games have done that. Like, I'm sure they have.
Somebody has.
This
probably,
looks amazing though. Like this really is like wow.
And one of the things as you're seeing right here that I liked about this and what Neil talked about in his presentation was the fact that it's still Uncharted. It's still a linear game, but they're calling it wide linear. But there's right now we're into this cave right here, and what you're about to see is, of course, we're going to do a Nathan Drake puzzle. Use the grappling hook, which honestly I feel like I didn't use enough in my demo, so I apologize for that.
I used it a lot.
You did
it's
at
my
one point.
favorite thing.
At one point, he was just swinging like a fat Spider-Man pendulum back and forth while shooting people with a shotgun, or I should say,
it was awesome.
attempting to shoot people with a shotgun.
It was like a performance anxiety thing. I don't like playing games at events. When
No, I know, and it was like Kurt was watching you and stuff. Naughty Dog was judging you for sure.
They're all judging me.
But
I was having fun though, and that's the most important part.
That's what Uncharted's all about. But I like the fact that it's still Uncharted. You're still going off, and like here we go over here, right? Well, the first thing we find, a treasure, totally what you'd expect.
Made
Give me
that
some
noise.
trophies. Yeah, of course. But then one of the things I think they found success with in Last of Us that they're bringing over to Uncharted 4, this environmental storytelling. We're picking up a letter where you can flip it over, you can look at it, you read a story. Similar, we always bring up Ishmael from The Last of Us. Similar to here, you're going to get to know these pirates and learn their journeys because that stuff's still here. Those side storylines are still here, story threads.
Yeah.
And the other thing I didn't get to see in this, but they confirmed that it was another carryover from Last of Us, right? Or at least idea brought up from Last of Us. Is the idea now of the optional conversation. You know what I mean? Apparently you're going to be out there, you'll be with Sam or some other supporting character, and there will be that triangle above their head to say, hey, do you want to talk? You can talk to them about this one thing they're seeing, and if you miss the window, you miss it, but if not, you get this cool little moment between them.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that it still is Uncharted, and it's just bigger. There's more to do in it.
Yeah, and I was telling you a bit about this earlier, but the wide linear thing to me is perfect. It's like it gives you more than just a hallway to go down.
Yeah.
Not that I'm against that, because I actually do quite enjoy that. But this game, the demo we played today reminds me a lot of Metal Gear Solid 5.
And you kept saying that, which is interesting. You'll see it later on. There's definitely those moments, right? Uncharted has always been very much about we don't want a HUD, we don't want all this stuff happening, right? And in this demo, as we get to later, you do have the ability to mark enemies now. You pull up your gun, you train it over them, you click both sticks in, and you can mark them now so you don't lose sight of them on the thing. You know what I mean?
And even it does the Metal Gear thing of if they're like above you on a wall or something, you see their like silhouettes in their bodies.
There's
still
a threat
through the
indicator
wall.
now too. You know what I mean? White
it's not an
means
exclamation mark, but it might as well be.
White is that it's slowly filling in as they're doing it. Yellow would be they know you're over there, but they wait. I fucked that up. White is filling in. Yellow is they know something's happening. They're coming to investigate, and then orange is like full blown. I know that's Nathan Drake. I'm gonna shoot him in the head.
Yeah, and then it's cool too because you can run, you can hide, and it eventually lowers. But what's awesome about it is it's not like Metal Gear and they just forget that you're there.
Sure.
Like they do come back and
exactly.
wait.
They'll go back and you can get back into stealth like we talked about before. One thing that I think is interesting that I want to talk about right now is how well the Jeep handles. And how differently the Jeep handles. And there is that I'm on mud, I'm on rock, I found solid ground, I'm sliding trying to get to these certain things.
And it's not annoying.
No.
I don't think that we'd be able to explain that in words. It's more of like when you play it, you're like, oh man. Like even watching this, I'm sure it's kind of weird looking. It reminds me a lot of the Warthog in Halo in the sense of off-roading and the cars just going and stuff.
Sure.
It does not feel that way though. It's like when you're playing it, it's like you really do feel like you're in control of this. And when you feel like you're not in control, that means that you're on some terrain you're not supposed to be on, and you're supposed to figure out the puzzle. And I think that the game it does a really good job of teaching you where you're supposed to go.
Watch me fuck this thing up. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, fuck that.
I know there's gonna be a trophy attached to that. Don't try to fuck with me, Neil Druckmann.
Those things are everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's like you start realizing, like, all right, I can't go up mud, but you see tire tracks over there, which means you can go over there. Or if there's a couple rocks, you can use that for leverage.
And this is one of the, not negatives, but interesting things about this demo, out of context, is that, Sony was very polite in asking that if you're going to capture footage today, capture your second playthrough, right? And it was like, oh, that's an interesting thing. I don't usually hear people say that. When we jumped into the game, it was like, oh, well, there's so much going on here. and I feel lost in the beginning. And there was, in your Let's Play of driving around, like, where do I go? What do I do? And it was learning those rules of, okay, that's a rock over there that has tire tracks on it, so I should be able to go up that.
Yeah.
Now, again, 10 chapters in, I'm assuming we've had these rules explained to us, and now it's starting to open up a bit.
Yeah, exactly. It does get very kind of disorienting, and you don't really know, like, have I been there before? Because
Yeah.
it's like you go around the curve, and all of a sudden, like I was telling you, if you look at it as a top-down map, I'm not exactly sure what that path would look like.
Yeah.
It might be like this crazy maze. But what's cool about the car is it feels like a character.
You said that, and I like that.
More than I've ever experienced with a vehicle, in that it feels like this. What we're seeing right now of Drake kind of like doing the climbing thing, and you're trying to
Feeling
figure
things
out,
out, like, does this work?
Can I
Like,
go
can
up
I go that way?
here? Why not? This looks like I can, but whatever. That's how the car feels. Where it's like you're trying to
here I
figure
did
out.
my E3 demo spin.
Oh yeah.
Just letting you know, Neil and Bruce, you ever need me to come? And I wasn't gonna really shoot him, but I wanted to see what would happen.
Yeah, well,
but if you want me to get up there, do the slow pan around, show some of the panoramics for Last
Yeah.
of Us 2, I'm here for you, Brass.
You know, you were talking about the negatives of this trailer, of which there are very few. I want to
Yeah,
point
no,
out.
I
This
don't.
game,
Yeah,
it's
no,
amazing.
no.
But his climbing in this game feels even more off than it felt to me before.
Off.
Just in the sense of like, so the other games, it's like, all right, you can climb here, you see the wood, you know you can get there, you know you can jump up that. There was a lot of times where like we're trying to, like, I feel like we should be able to get there, but we can't. And it feels off, but I think that's because this game looks so good. And it's not so, like, there is way more varied things to grab onto.
Right.
So it's not as like.
Well, it's funny, when you were struggling at the one point that'll be coming up later in my demo here, of where to climb and what to do, you were like, I remember I was like, oh, we'll go down and do this, da da da. And one of the developers was watching us, and he was like, you could have gone up a couple of different ways. Like, they're there, and I don't know if it is that thing of like, maybe it's just not beating us over the head this time around with like, hey, this is highlighted yellow, meaning you
That's
can
what I'm
climb
saying.
it.
Like it's kind of it's off-putting, but I think that again we're being put into chapter 10. And
Yeah, exactly.
Once we understand that, it'll make a lot more sense. Here we're doing something really cool.
I love this slide down.
Yeah.
What are we
Again,
using?
The animations, great. But we're using the I don't know how to say it. Wingding.
Winch.
The winch.
He's
That's
never heard of a
made-up
winch
word.
till today.
Have you?
There you go.
Let me know in the comments.
I'm sure every Midwest kid with a dad
Every
with a
San
truck.
Francisco kid's never heard of a winch.
Good job.
Winch?
Yeah, you nailed it. Winch.
Good. So it's cool. You kind of like, you wrap it around this tree.
Yeah.
There was a cinematic that we may have just seen and we were talking over, but where Drake was like, huh, like it looks like something you tried to do this. So it's obvious that someone else has done that before.
We've definitely been talking over the banter between him and Sully.
Yeah.
Because Sully didn't want to spring for the 4x4 with the winch, and I like that.
Yep. And of course, the dialogue is amazing.
Yeah, of course.
Adding Troy to this is just a good idea.
Troy, never heard of him.
Yeah. He's
Another Vista right there.
yeah.
Got that Assassin's Creed Eagle flying.
so good.
Yeah.
And again, like the car feels like a character, and it's cool when you start getting some speed going. There's a part coming up that, not in your Let's Play, but in mine, I just was like, I'm just cannonballing. Like, I'm just going to go off. And you died, just like you would if Nathan Drake just took a jump. And I thought that was cool. Like, it treats the car like a character in a very unique way.
Yeah, it was funny because I think sometimes vehicles, they get frustrating where it's like, you jump off something, you die, you hit that thing, you roll it over, you gotta jump out, you gotta hit circle. Like, I never died and I never flipped it into a, you know what
I
I
don't
mean?
think you can flip it.
Interesting, which is good. Yeah, like that's
It's
fun
not
for
like
this
a
game.
jet ski.
Look at this. Here's another treasure. Put it in your treasure log, everybody. This is a free one for you, PS4 trophies. You go on here. Where's this treasure? Not there. Not there. It's over there. Credit Greg Miller, everybody, when you get this treasure. You're on your way to your platinum trophy. Look at that little fat guy. How you
He's doing
doing?
some stuff.
I like him. He's the original Team Fat. No, I couldn't get over that rock.
But all right, so going back to it, like
Yeah.
you're saying that this demo is interesting for Uncharted, and I think so as well, in the sense that it's not the set piece, it's not the action moment, and like they know that everyone loves this game, they know that it's going to be good, and
Watch
I like
me go out
it.
of my way to hit this thing too. Like bam.
I like that they're not ruining it. Like I like
No,
that they want to
that's-
keep that for us, not only the story but also those moments.
I feel like they learned something with the subway ads from Uncharted 3, because it was like, that's where I learned the plane tour part, and all these dumb things like that. I feel like, I was talking to you about it afterwards, right? That like, this was a muted demo for me. And I don't mean that as a negative. I mean that I don't want the story ruined, I don't want to see the set piece, and so this is very much going through and being like, here's how the core gameplay of Uncharted has evolved, and the visuals, obviously. We've added this Jeep, and here's how the combat that you've known for years now, here's how we're going to introduce, like you're saying, Metal Gear Solid things of tagging people, being able to see them, new threat indicators, the ability to go from stealth to alert mode to back to stealth and stuff like that. I like that, but it was an interesting thing for me to be like, oh man, I remember Uncharted 3's like reveal event that I got to go to, right, when you got to play it for the first time. Or maybe I watched it be played for the first time. But the first time I saw really Uncharted 3 in the thing was the whole chateau when it was on fire, and so like that was like a holy shit set piece moment. And this isn't. This is very much your moment to moment Uncharted, which is great. Don't get me wrong, great gameplay. I had fun playing this. All I want to do is play more. But it's an interesting move. And I originally told you like that's weird, and then I was like, well, I guess I remember Uncharted 2. The first thing we ever saw was when we were going through the streets, the Jeep's chasing us down the stairs, we're shooting as we run from it. But even that had like that epic moment to it, where the epic moment here is like, I'm using the winch for the first time. I'm learning how to mark people. I'm doing this different thing.
It's funny, I actually had a different experience with it where this sounds kind of like just simplifying it, but this is next gen Uncharted. Yeah. Like, and it opened
See, I'm
my
marking
eyes to
everybody
that.
right now. I'm sure you noticed.
In the Metal Gear style, which is, I think, is a great addition. This is an evolved form of Uncharted in a way that I didn't expect for to be. Like we've seen the other trailers and stuff, and that I'm like, all right, cool, Uncharted. It's Uncharted 4. It makes sense. This surprised me. This really was like, oh man, like this might be a bit of a meatier experience even than I'm used to. It's still going to give me those moments. I know that they're there, but it's also going to give me this. And I keep bringing up Metal Gear, and I want to make.
We love Metal Gear.
But I want to make it clear. To me, this is the best of both worlds of it, where I think this is better Metal Gear because it's tighter and it is more focused, and it's the wide linear thing is good because it is driving you through a path, but it feels like it's meant to be that way. Whereas Metal Gear sometimes was a little like open.
Here's
to be
more
open.
stuff, yeah.
This is like very directed, like this tower, which has been the point of like what we're trying to get to. Like there's multiple ways to kind of go about it. Like obviously you can, go in shooting and die like an idiot.
Now, if you notice, my plan was originally I was going to stealth it, and then as I came up and after I marked everybody, I was like, oh, those barrels look like they explode, and I had to shoot them.
Yeah.
And so you'll see here, this tall grass you could use for stealth, where you'd go in, Nate would automatically crouch, and I do believe, you see him doing it there. You'll see it coming up in a second before some other stuff happens. But I don't do much of it because, I'm an Uncharted purist, which means I go in there, I kill things, and fall in love with Elena. Yeah. What up, Elena? You want to get married again? I love you. Let's renew our vows. I hope we don't have a child in this game. Why do I keep lying to you? I hope we both survive.
So when I came to this thing, I didn't want to do stealth first. I wanted to just drive as fast as
You
possible.
ran over a couple guys with the
I killed
Jeep.
a couple of people with the Jeep, and that made me happy, but I got taken down real fast. But then eventually I went in stealth until I got caught, and then that's when the rope moment happened.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the rope.
I will use it coming up.
Okay,
but
cool.
not like you did. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I was like gonna point the screen like I'm mad and I can tell it straight. But this pole off to the right there is one that you latched onto, swung over, and then just started shooting people with a shotgun.
Yeah. The rope is another thing that impressed me with this game.
Yeah.
With this demo, in that we all saw that PSX demo.
Oh my God,
When he ropes down and punches that dude in the face.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, that is amazing. But is that some canned animation that we're just gonna do over and over? This today proved to me no.
No,
That rope is very versatile, and you're gonna use it in a bunch of different ways. Sometimes to attack someone, sometimes to just climb somewhere. It controls a little cumbersome for me. But
at chapter 10,
that's
not
us
how to
jumping
use
in.
it. Yeah.
Because you have to you hit L1 and he starts like swinging it around. Then you have to hit L1 again for him to shoot it over, and like I kind of expect more of like a
Spider-Man,
Super
Commando.
Metroid style, like just you do it like a hook shot.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I'll get used to it. But it's cool because you can use the rope, and then you can go out, and you can either just keep swinging this way, or you can stop and go up it, or you can swing this way, and it's like you are controlling it, and you can use it to swing to another building and kind of go down, so you are still hiding from people, and then crawl up and shoot people, or do what I did and swing around and shoot people, but that doesn't work that well. But I'm sure in some cases it would.
Yeah.
But also then you go in, you can kick them in the face and stuff, and that's awesome. There's nothing more rewarding than that.
So here I am, man, making my moves. It has not gone well, but I have not died, which I hang my hat on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, I haven't played Uncharted in a long time. Let alone new school Uncharted, where apparently you shoot barrels and people know where you are. That's not how Uncharted used to be.
No.
I don't know what changed. I don't know why they
War.
decided to move that.
War's changed.
War changed finally. Wow, I thought it never changed, but it finally changed. I also found this is something that is probably just me getting. I think part of it's the Division. I've been playing so much Division, so much third-person Division, where I feel like when I pop out, I know exactly where my reticle is going to be. And here, I did not feel that.
It's a little more cinematic, and I think Uncharted's always kind of been that way.
No, I agree.
But this one, I also was having some trouble.
Now, this is an interesting point in the demo. Not for you at home. You're probably bored. Okay. But for us, I scale this thing. I've killed all these guys. But you at some point called in reinforcements here, right?
Okay, I didn't. They did. So there's this tower you're kind of going up, right?
Yeah.
And as I was going up, and I was still fighting the guys. Like you took them all out when you were down there. But I took them more like I'm gonna rope around and like do some crazy stuff. Shit.
Yeah.
So I was doing that and just making my way up this, and I got a sniper eventually, and I started sniping people, and that was really satisfying. When you get to the top, there's like a zip line, and
We'll see it soon.
Yeah, when I got up there, all of a sudden it went to like a cutscene, and they're calling reinforcements, and I'd killed everyone as well.
Yeah.
And this big truck comes along and just like pulls in, and then a ton of dudes came out. And I just stood at the top of the tower and sniped them all. So I was like, this is part of the demo. Like this is definitely a scripted thing.
There you go. There's your rope.
Oh, I love it.
And this is my first time ever using it, which is why I'm like drunk Spider-Man.
But see, that's the thing though, is I like that you can be drunk Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be way more just like,
Yeah. This is a good example too of the climbing we've been talking about, right? In the way of like, I don't feel there's as many. Hey, this is very clear what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you could scale this building in pretty much a zillion different ways, kind of like I'm doing on this part, where I'll just jump up, jump up, jump up. Now I'm going over here. I'm gonna flip over the wall. I'm gonna keep going. It's an interesting merge, like you're talking about, of like, because the game looks so good now, it is so much more realistic in terms of visuals.
Then you get that weird prairie dog effect though.
Yep.
Where you keep seeing him try to.
That's
go up,
Uncharted as
like,
well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it always
right there,
has been.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got up here, and you can see there's the zip line, and then over there in the distance, you can see it here. It was this cutscene played.
Yeah.
And a big truck came out, and a bunch of dudes came out and ran across the bridge, and I sniped them all, and then I did this and took one out, and it was awesome.
You probably just didn't kill him good enough, like I did.
That's probably true.
I probably killed them so good that they didn't have time to call in reinforcements.
Yeah.
And then this is when I was like, crap, I need a car. Because now, to my credit, early in the thing, I turned on I looked for the car. You would have seen it a little while ago, right? And I did that because I think the game told me to.
Yep, it did.
But the sound was down on the TV. So let's not act like I had all the information. You know what I mean? Not like I can call the car like it's Herbie the Love Bug and it's going to drive over.
I don't think that it verbally told you.
Okay.
It was a HUD thing.
Okay.
Where it popped up and it said hit down on the D-pad to locate your car.
I'm rolling
and
like
then
I
it does
do
the
in
Metal
Zelda.
Gear kind of like exoskeleton thing going on.
Sure.
But I got that notification after the reinforcement bit.
Interesting.
So it was after the reinforcements, and then I was where you're at right now.
Look at the beauty of Madagascar. Still holding out hope that there'll be a Madagascar, the cartoon reference in this to win a bet. I think all my boys back together. It's Uncharted given Final Fantasy XV the finger. Oh, you can put people in a car and they can go on an adventure? We can put people in a car and they can go on an adventure. I look over there, I'm like, should I investigate? And you know what I said? No. Not really important to this demo. For this Let's Play, probably don't need to go to that burned out structure and look for a treasure because I won't get any trophies for it.
Yeah,
but when I can get trophies, I will do that. PS4 trophies, if you're watching, probably good to go investigate that burned out little hut.
So this is kind of cool. We saw him go across the rickety bridge earlier, and it worked.
Yes.
This time it didn't.
No.
But we obviously know what to do, because we have our good friend, the Wickety Bit.
The Wickety Bit.
Yeah.
I can't believe you never heard of a winch.
Winch.
You watched Jurassic Park, right? You remember the winch in Jurassic Park?
Yeah, but did they call it by name?
I thought the dinosaur that spit in his face said, "You should have used the winch."
Another thing that's interesting here is it's like our feeble video game minds tell us, all right, you walk up to the thing, you hit the button, you walk up to the other thing, you hit the button, and it does it.
Yeah.
This with the winch, you actually have to loop-de-loop and like do it like you actually would.
Now here's something exactly. Very good point there. that you have to. You saw me walk around. And I'm about to do it again here. Here's something I'm thinking in my head right now as this happens. Do you think I could have continued to walk to the second pillar, gone around the pillar, and ripped both pillars down at once? Because if you remember when that happened, I was like, oh, I got to do it again?
Yeah.
That's kind of cumbersome. And then I just watched me play this. I'm like,
oh, man.
I bet I could have torn them both down at the same time. Because
That
there's
would have
nothing.
been awesome.
There's no image. There's no thing telling me not to do that. There's no like, as soon as there's no like quick time button where I just hit triangle and it's done.
And I went pretty far with mine.
Yeah. How far did you go? You go all the way?
I didn't go all the way.
No.
I got scared.
And some mud up there. Yeah, everybody gets scared. It's a lot to think about. With your wiggity woo.
So we're coming up in the end here.
Yeah.
We had strict rules that we had to stop once we heard a certain line. But I mean, again, this demo impressed me, and it didn't wow me, it impressed me, and I think that's even more important with Uncharted.
Sure.
Because Uncharted's gonna wow.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point. It was one of those things. Even when they were like, hey, come play Uncharted, I was like, well, of course I'm gonna come play Uncharted, but I don't need to play Uncharted. You know what I mean? I'm fine just waiting for my copy to come. Playing Uncharted in one giant setting.
We should cut the footage now.
No, I cut it automatically. Remember, I had to cut this up, so I don't. As soon as they say the line, I got to cut after. I cut after.
Oh, okay.
No, there you go.
Genius. You're so
done.
Good.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's kind of funny reacting to Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. Thank you for watching with us. This weird Let's Play porno hybrid thing we've made here in the hotel bedroom. Remember, we put up Let's Plays and reacts and all sorts of stuff all the time here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. So keep coming back. You know that there will be plenty of Uncharted coverage. Why do you know that? Because we happen to have the #1 PlayStation podcast. It's called PS I Love You XOXO. It posts every Tuesday at 9 a.m. It does not usually happen in beds, but I'm not discounting the fact that maybe one day it does.
And we all know that the best Uncharteds are even-numbered Uncharteds. So
no, we do not know that. We don't. I think we could all say we all know that Uncharted seems to just get better with every iteration, and that the most recent Uncharted is always the best Uncharted, I would say.
Do you want to do some Uncharted things right now, Greg?
I would love to. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Do you want to see my Thieves' End?
Oh, gross. You're gross. Turn off the camera.